Hey, welcome back, BBC fans. As always, I'm Bobby the Bot.
And I'm James the Con.
And we're back with another special interview. TFCon, I'm already wearing it, is coming up. So we decided to bring back our official sponsor, Brandon from The Chosen Prime.
Hey guys.
What's going on, Brandon?
Another day in paradise here.
Yeah.
110 outside.
Oh, gosh.
It's not much cooler in California right now in the Bay Area. It was 100 degrees.
Pretty hot everywhere right now.
Yeah. It's like a heat wave going on or something like that. I think it was like 90. Actually, it wasn't as bad today, but I think it was still like 91 or something like that, 92 degrees.
Yeah, and you get a lot of humidity, right? So.
Yes. I go outside and come back looking like a rotisserie chicken.
Yeah. Our humidity's been high for here lately, but not like you guys.
Yeah. All right. Well, first of all, we want to thank you for coming back on our channel. We really appreciate it. And
shocked you're having me back, to be honest.
And why don't we just talk about the elephant in the room, and that's the exclusive, which is Clutch. So where did this idea come from? I mean, I'm sure I could figure it out, but...
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing the Euro stuff, and we were trying to figure out how to do Clench. And we just, the obvious choice that I think everybody looked at was, okay, use the arch enemy gunfighter mold. But they don't look good together. If you're putting it with the pyro, it just doesn't work. He's huge. The aesthetics are different. So we just kept brainstorming, and we kind of came up with this idea of adding this battle station to that prime mold to get something that was both unique and, scaling pretty well.
So with somebody who's not familiar with it, like me, I just saw the colors and was like, this looks amazing. Can you kind of give us a backstory or a little bit of info on the character?
Yeah, so Clench is a Euro G1 figure, similar to the other stuff we've been doing. They were all released between, like, when G1 died here in the US. They were still releasing stuff in Europe under the G1 label. Clench is kind of a weird one because there's actually two versions of him. You've got Clench, which has the Euro G1 box, and then there's a G2 version. His name's escaping me. James, you know what his name was?
No, I thought it was always Clench.
No, the second one, I don't know why I'm blanked on it, but the second one, he had a different name and everything. Same toy, G2 box, and everything else is the same. So they were part of the Obliterators, him and Pyro. So
nice.
And now I think part of that Obliterators was their trailer, correct?
Right.
So
the trailer.
Yes. So can you explain this retool? Because I think it is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, retool / extra parts you've added to an exclusive.
Pretty significant, yeah. Adding the battle station that folds into the trailer. We felt like it was a good compromise to try to give it a unique look and obviously a unique playability, having the battle station, and the fact that the Naval Commander gun already shoots those bullets. It just plays right into the the playability of a battle station type thing. So it works out pretty good.
Yes, I do think you knocked it out of the park, personally.
Thank you.
And so I'm sure people are going to ask if it combines with the trailer or anything like that.
No, it does not. We had to sacrifice some things here to keep the price down below what Naval Commander is. If we would have done everything with the combiner parts and everything, the price would have just gotten too big for what I felt like was reasonable. So no combiner hands, no combiner head hiding inside.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. because that also says
like, we couldn't have gone small, right? We wouldn't have been able to leave the head how it is. We would have had to make a new head for it and all that. So it would have just turned into a much bigger deal.
Yeah.
And we like the price being down, so that's
Exactly.
You don't get that too often anymore, do you?
I don't. No.
So I'm not too familiar with the colors, but this is a personal question, did the BotCon version of Clench influence it at all? Because I did see like the blue on him was a little bit, lighter.
I think some of it was just the camera work on the different photos that you see out there, because the original toy is not black. A lot of people think it's black. It's actually like dark blue with speckles in it, like metallic flake in it.
Okay.
And that's what this one is. It's dark blue metallic flake.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's pretty darn close to the original. We had an original with us, and obviously those things, depending on where it's been sitting for the last 25 years and whatnot, the color might be different than what it was fresh in the box, but we think it was pretty close.
And with this one, did our friend Get Right Robot work on this one with you guys as well?
Yeah, of course. Always helps kind of mock these things up. We'll shoot ideas back and forth, try to come up with a plan on what makes sense, what doesn't make sense, and then we go back to Fans Hobby and talk to them, and it's kind of a round robin thing until we come up with a finished product.
Yes, that makes sense. And I don't know if you've shown this off yet, but will you be showing off the box art anytime soon?
Yes. Yeah, I'll probably show the box. Maybe we'll get to that like next week before the show sometime. We'll show it off. But everybody can rest assured it's consistent with our theme there. So it'll blend right in. Get Right Robot did the box art, did the line art for the figure, and then Fans Hobby puts it together. So yeah, we got a good process going, and we're trying to stay consistent with everything we're doing, because I like that. I like, I hate it when like a series of figures comes out and then they change the box halfway through that series, and it just kind of is a damper. I wish we could make all the boxes the same size too. That would be ideal.
Yeah.
That's more violent.
It would definitely help for my collection in the back.
I see them there.
Yeah, I now have a Fans Hobby shelf. So
I see that. I see that. Yeah.
Yeah. So are there, with this being an exclusive, how many are you making with this one?
So we did bump up production. I mean, obviously the other ones have sold really well, and we felt like Clench was a mainline enough character here to bump production a little bit. So there's 700 pieces now instead of 600.
Okay.
It's not going to necessarily stay at 700 going forward, but this one we felt like was a pretty big hitter and warranted the extra pieces.
Okay.
Now, speaking of extra pieces, do you know when this will be available for peasants like me and Bobby to order it online that can't make it to Toronto?
So we our stock for Toronto is already in route there. They're already there, but the U.S. stock is still en route. So I think it's probably going to be about a week after the show, if I just had to guess. But it'll be somewhere in that ballpark. We'll definitely make an announcement ahead of time once we have a better handle on things.
All right, so stay tuned to our show because we'll definitely let you know.
Yeah, for sure.
and so I guess another question for you. I've heard about people in other countries not being able to get some of these exclusives and things like that. Is that going to be an issue, or?
I mean, it shouldn't be. Like they can order it from us, or they can order it from Fans Hobby. If you're in Asia or Australia or Europe, you order from Fans Hobby direct, and they have additional pieces. We both kind of split the amount that overrun that we did this time. So they have some additional pieces from what they've had in previous releases. So, but you can, if you're anywhere other than Asia, Australia, and you're Europe there, you can order it right from us.
Awesome.
All right. Well, I don't have any more questions about the exclusive. Do you, Bobby?
Not right now, but
Yeah.
I know I have some other questions just for Brandon being the chosen prime.
Yeah. So before we get off this exclusive talk, I do have to ask, what's going to be the next one?
Oh, you think I'm going to tell you that now?
Hey,
how we like to tease people and try to get people to guess at what they are. And you think I'm just going to pop on here 3 months, 4 months early and tell you what it is?
You never know.
James, you were too early. We had to butter him up a little bit. You're supposed to ask it like towards the
end. You went way too hard in the paint on that.
Yeah, that's how I like to do stuff. All right, well, let's get into some questions just about third party in general.
Sure.
And so just since TFCon is coming up, what do you expect to see at the third party panel in Toronto?
It's always a crapshoot, to be honest, because it really depends on what these guys want to show. I mean, a lot of them have designs ready, like lots of them, but it's just what they decide they want to put out next, and some of that is dictated by what's coming out by the other people. So then it just becomes this big holding game that everybody is partaking in, and nobody wants to show their cards. So, things have changed over the years. I mean, because obviously, like, if you think, for me, like, I think back like 7-8 years ago, the third-party panel is basically the place where you would, release or unveil something new. And now it's shifted. The dynamic shifted a little bit to more short-term, like, hey, here it is. It's going to be available in 2 months because of these. I think anyway, because of the competition, between each other.
That makes a lot of sense. I never thought of it like that. I do remember the days when I would set an alarm to check the third-party panel and see what's coming out. But I don't remember which one it was. Bobby literally fell asleep during it.
Yeah. I think too that, like, there's some companies that they're not worried about it, right? They're doing their own thing and they're creating unique product that maybe doesn't, isn't competitive with somebody else. Iron Factory is one that comes to mind. Those guys they're doing their own thing. And I appreciate that too. Like they just kind of have their direction and they're like, hey, we're going to go with it. However many people jump on board. So, we should see some stuff from those guys. I'd like to see something else from Metagate. That's for sure. I like what those guys are doing. They're making a nice product nowadays. So I'd like to see some more from them. I don't know if anybody's interested in what Fans Toys has going on anymore, but maybe we see something from them.
You actually beat me to it because you mentioned two companies in particular that recently we've been asked about. One is the Leo Kaiser from Iron Factory.
Right.
We've got the first two limbs that came out really fast, and then it's just they've been showing stuff, but we haven't seen anything. And of course, Fans Toys with the last two combiners for their Minosaur and their Superion. So,
right. Yeah, I think Jester's just right around the corner. My understanding is Jester will be out next, either late July, early August. So, we'll be able to finally finish one of those. And I think they're waiting. This is just my personal opinion. I think they're waiting to get Jester out before they even mess with the dead end.
Okay.
That would make sense. Get fan feedback.
Did I say the right one? Dead end? No.
Yeah, it's dead end.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
I had to check myself.
Yeah, well, it's. I'm happy that you were able to get Jester out because I know I have a hard time keeping track of two of the names, or then if Fans Toys makes it and X Transbots makes it, there's 3 names or 5 names.
That's what just got me because I was thinking of the X Transbots Death Wish. So I had
Yes.
Yeah, so I think those will be out. We should maybe see something new from New Age. Hopefully, those guys they just make such good product. It's just really pretty impressive.
Something that I'm just going to ask. I mean, you might not know, but do you know anything about time frame of Fans Hobbies Tidal Wave?
I do not at this time. No, I don't. I might know some people I can ask, but right now I don't.
So basically that means that we got to do a little bit more smoozing over here, James, to see if we can get Brandon to ask the people that he knows to provide us some insight there. That's what that means.
Yeah.
Definitely, when we do this before Baltimore, we'll be able to let all over.
Send chocolates, okay?
Hey, yeah, I chocolates it is. I think there's a chocolate factory out here that like makes chocolate, so I got you.
You got to make them yourself, though, Bobby.
Yeah, I want homemade stuff. I'm not taking no store bought stuff.
I'm trying to save your gut. That's what Bobby doesn't cook.
That makes two of us.
So from on a fan's perspective, what are you looking forward to this year?
Well, certainly finishing those Fans Toys combiners. I really just want to get one together to feel it. How stable is it? How posable is it? What are we looking at there? Because we just know nothing right now. We just have nothing to go on. So we know. I mean, you can tell that when you look at the last one, Viper. It's lighter than the other two by a considerable margin. So you know that they were thinking at least about the joints and the arm weight versus the legs. So that made me feel good, even though I like the heavy bots. I know that when it comes to arms, that's probably not the smartest move.
Yeah, try to hold it up and it's just a brrr.
Yeah, exactly. We've all seen that. We've all had figures that do that, right? Mm-hmm. So I think they're really taking their time and doing things the right way. I know it's taken a long time to happen. And there were some other extenuating circumstances from what I understand of why that happened. But, they're getting there. They're doing the right things and doing it the right way.
Nice. Okay.
All right. Can you think of any other fan questions, Bobby?
Oh, I have a whole bunch of them. Just because, so the other question that we're getting asked a lot about are these Metroplexes, these 4-foot Metroplexes. The W Resources, the Light Toys. Are those? I kind of gave up on the Light Toys. I'll just be honest.
Yeah, me too. I thought that was going to be a thing, and I think they even came out and said something, right, that it wasn't gonna make it.
Oh, I missed that one. Okay.
I thought I saw something. I could be wrong, but
okay.
I saw a post that
take that with a grain. We'll put an asterisk next to that.
Yeah. Don't fact check that.
Okay.
But the W Resources, I suspect is going to come out. At some point. I'd like to just see the leg or something. Just to know that there's an actual working copy going around somewhere to try to work from and get some ideas on. But I don't know. I don't know what kind of time frame we're looking at there. I can't see them putting up a pre-order for something that big and that expensive if they really didn't have thoughts of finishing it out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so this is another one. Again, I'm full of them. Since James mentioned Baltimore, there's been a slew of Devastators announced, of course, and it's escaping me the name of the company, but there was one that was supposed to come out, and then Vector, yes, and I heard that they were going to make some release or showing at Baltimore,
and then they changed it to Legends, didn't they?
I haven't seen anything on that, to be honest with you guys. I haven't seen a thing, so I don't know what move. I mean, they had prototypes, so I mean, I don't know how you could change the scale, I guess. Like Rising Force kind of did that, I think, with theirs. But I don't know. Doesn't seem like it works very well to try to downsize something without, reducing the tooling and the articulation and everything else.
Okay.
Unless you got wizards like New Age that can, make things smooth on the outside and sticky on the other side.
I can't lie, they got me a little bit.
Yeah,
they got me.
Yeah, you're a Legends collector. That's why.
Dabbler, experimenter.
I'm going to pivot this really quickly away from the toys and ask you, what do you think of the new TF1 movie?
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the trailer has me intrigued. I saw an interview with what is it, Lorenzo de Bonaventura? Is that the guy's name?
I think so.
I saw an interview with him stating like that this movie's not like the original movie, which I didn't anticipate it would be. But he was kind of dogging on the fact that it was dark. The original movie was really dark.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, for me, like that's one of the things that kind of made that movie what it was. I think if it would have just been like, all kitty and happy, everybody shoots each other with blasters and then just goes their separate ways, it wouldn't have had the impact. I don't feel like.
I think we both completely agree with you. We talked about that on our show and how kind of ridiculous it was.
Yeah, I went on a little rant.
Dark.
It's a childhood destroyer for some kids, right? It was pretty rough. But I think this one's just going to be way more lighthearted. I hope, or my vision of it would be that it starts very lighthearted and then kind of works its way into, a little more serious and kind of delving into the split of things.
I agree.
I like the animation, though. It looks good. I mean, the designs, I think, are serviceable. I wouldn't say they're my favorite, but I think they work.
Mm-hmm.
Well, going down that same line, what are your thoughts on the G.I. Joe Transformers crossover that they're working on?
I think it's too early for that, man. I really do. I think it's kind of it's not my favorite idea. I love both franchises too. Like those are my two jams. So, but I don't know. They haven't put out a good G.I. Joe movie yet. And so the idea that all of a sudden it's going to be good when you have no character association to anybody, all your mainline characters have been, 2 or 3 different people for the most part. And those people aren't coming back for this movie from my understanding, from what I've read. So it makes it really tough, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think they can do it, but I don't know,
They're trying to do like a Marvel movie thing, but people forget that the first Marvel movies came out over a span of like 10 years.
Right.
And then they did Avengers.
Slow build. Yeah. And then they're like, oh yeah, let me throw these 2 guys into this movie and they're just dropping little hints here and there.
Yeah.
So exactly. I thought that's what they were actually doing with Bumblebee. I thought that John Cena was going to be Duke. And that was where they were going with that. And I think now it's obviously not the case.
Yeah, I think you or I have a better chance of being Duke at this point.
Yeah, you're a much better looking gentleman.
I don't know. I think I might be a little bit too short.
Yeah, maybe. I think I'm more fit for Roadblock. I think just personally,
I can see that. Yeah. James looks like a good Sergeant Slaughter.
I was going to say Baroness. How dare you?
Baroness.
that works too.
Yeah, so we'll see. I support them all. I support all if it's Transformers related, I'm in. I'm going to support it because I just want content, right? I just want stuff to, whether I like every part of it or I don't, I'm just happy that it's there and that we can still enjoy the franchise.
Yeah.
In several different ways, I guess.
So I have another hard question. We kind of talked about this before we recorded, but we all know that a lot of the fans are disliking what Hasbro's putting out. If you could fix it, how would you? The toy line, let's say.
Throw it all in the garbage. No, you know what? I don't. There's some good product mixed in there, But I think the real problem, I think we touched on this before too, is like the muddle, all the verse, combining here with the timelines and all the different iterations of these toys and generations. I just think that it's too much for people to swallow, man, like all at once, I don't like it. I mean, I think that if you do a series, it should be cohesive and they should all kind of live in the same world. And, I know they did that with Classics, when that came out, and it worked for that. But I think the market was so starved for product then, that's why.
Yeah.
Where, now there's product, there's 4 different toy lines that you can be collecting.
Yeah.
So, I feel like right now the Studio Series is the better line going on right now.
That makes me think something that I've felt with this. I think the toy line would have been better or could have done better if there was some media to go with it. So
Maybe. If
you have a cartoon and you have the plot of all these different figures coming out of these different timelines to do something, whether we need all these people to come together to fight Unicron or something like
right.
that. Or, that's what I was thinking they were going with. Or James' favorite character, Magmatron.
Oh yeah, favorite.
Something like that. That's what I was thinking would have been great for them to go with. But it just seems like they're just picking. Hey, we're gonna do this one. We can use this one character and retool it 700 times to make 4 more characters. And
we can turn this helicopter into a rock, and people are gonna love it.
Yes.
And that's something why I like the Universe 1.0, because that's one of my favorite toy lines. The original Universe with all the wonky repaints is they had a comic to explain why a lot of those characters were where they were. Yeah. And it tied into some BotCon stuff and whatever. But I thought that was really cool. And they could have literally just did a legacy comic to tie everybody in.
Anything, right? Like they got the new Skybound deal. Those guys are making good stuff. Like, why not put something together to get people to bite in on it, rather than just, hey, we're going to throw all this mud together and, hopefully you like, some of it.
Exactly. Well, I know it's getting late on your end. Definitely would,
As late as your end.
Well, I stay up late though.
No, it's still light outside here.
I'll be up for like another 6 hours.
Oh my goodness.
So
yeah.
Okay, so it's getting late for me.
I go to bed and I wake up to text messages from him.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. So, but with that, to all of our fans, we thank you for not only sponsoring us, we really appreciate the support, you coming on the show. Where can people find you? How can they connect with The Chosen Prime?
Yeah, man, just go to the website, thechosenprime.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the normal feeds. You can search The Chosen Prime just about anywhere. You'll find us. And
the guy is approachable. Just don't come with no craziness, but he is approachable. You can talk to him. He's a good guy.
Absolutely. You can always talk to me. Even some of the crazies get through.
Like us, right?
Like us. Yeah, that's how we do it. So and hey, maybe next time we have you on, we can actually do it live or something like that.
Maybe. I'm down with it.
All right. Well, stay tuned for that, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
All right.
Thanks, Brandon. As always, till all debates are won. See you guys next time.